life too, it looks like. So yeah, let's talk about two creative ways to buy real estate in 2025. Obviously, the interest rate, high price, home prices, so the affordability is like all-time low. And two ways that I think could actually get you into the homeownership sooner than later. Because I've seen buyers who waited. The longer you wait to buy, the more equity gain opportunities that you lose. And I've seen that with one buyer who I worked in, let's see, it was around like 2010 or 2011. I mean, at the bottom of the market. The problem with him was that he thought it was going to go down even more. The price was going to go down even more. So, and at the time, there were tons of homes to view. So I remember showing him at least about a dozen homes, but he wasn't convinced that at some point the price will go up. And as far as I remember, the last time I checked, he hasn't bought something. He had a great income. He was making probably like 300K a year. He is a doctor. And the last time I checked, and then I lost touch with him, but he wasn't owning a home. He was still renting. And it's just like, wow, if he bought anything in 2011, he would have probably doubled anything so he would have bought for like $300,000. He would have had like $600,000 by now. Doubled, and didn't have to pay the rent. That's the tricky part. Having to pay rent, it's almost like bleeding money if you can afford to buy. If you don't have any other option, I mean, that's what it is what it is. But if you have an option to buy and you're not buying, that's when I just pull my hair. So the first creative ways to buy a home in a low affordability time is to co-buying. What I mean by that is you could buy a home with your buddy that you drink beer with. Instead of spending money at the bar drinking beers, I mean, it's fun, it's good, beer's good, tastes good, but it's not so good for you. Use that money to buy a house. How about that? So there's ways to co-borrow the mortgage and co-buy a house. In my opinion, that's better than individually not be able to afford a home and not buying the home. I actually had a buddy, he is not my beer buddy. I don't think he even drinks. I don't drink anymore, but I used to drink a lot. My tennis buddy, he used to be my 4-0 doubles partners, 4.0. If you play tennis, you know what I mean. The USTA 8.0, no, 8.0. 4.0 meant he was my doubles partner in the mid 2015 at Mountain Park Racket Club in Lake Oswego. He is much younger than me. At the time, he was like late 20s. Now he's early 30s. He was renting a house with his roommate from college. And I remember telling him probably like 2-3 years before he bought that house, I said, well, go ahead and collect the rent for your landlord. If you are the main tenant collecting the rent from your buddy, you can actually use that, the paper trail of the history of collecting the rent. So it's like a sub-landlord or sub-tenant or whatever that might be. If you have that for about a year worth of collecting rent from your buddy, you could use that as your buying power. So when you qualify for your loan, when you're ready to buy, you could use that as your income. So you can actually afford more home. Obviously, you want to keep that roommate so that that roommate will still pay whatever, like 1/3, half, whatever the mortgage payment, instead of paying the rent to the landlord. So that's what he ended up doing. Yeah, he ended up buying a really nice house, huge yard, probably like a quarter of an acre. His house is about like 2,100 square feet, 3-bedroom, 2.5 bath or 2 baths. It was built in the 80s, I think. Great house for great price at the right time. And now he can afford that by himself. At the time, it was kind of tight. He was a bit conservative. So having the roommate really helped him to get qualified for more loans and getting the help from the monthly payment from his roommate. And in my opinion, if he didn't use that, he may not be able to buy a home at the time. And even right now, it would have been even tougher for him to buy. Because right now, the mortgage rate is like probably 3% higher than when he bought it. So that's one way. The second way is, let's say, Shawn, I'm done with the roommate. I don't want roommate. I want to buy it just by myself, but this is too expensive. The mortgage, I can't afford that monthly. The other way is going after homes that's sitting on the market. If the homes are sitting on the market for, let's say, 3 months, 4 months, those sellers are going to be kind of anxious to sell, especially going through the winter time. Because winter time, the home maintenance cost is much higher. You need to keep the room, the house kind of, heated up. And things could happen. Excuse me. So sellers are more motivated. Now, the homes that are not selling because of like location or condition. Condition is the first one that I would look at. If the condition is bad and the house is not selling for like more than 90 days, sitting on the market, they're not getting traffic, the listing agent is about to lose that listing. Those are the listings that you have to go after and just do a heavy discounted price offer. There's nothing wrong with making low offer. So I would just go ahead and write like 10% lower if you think that that is the right price, that you can afford, that you can pay that mortgage at 7%. And if you do, they either are going to reject it or they're going to accept it. That would be awesome. Or they're going to counter. That's how real estate works. And if probably, like I said, my favorite will be going after the worst condition home, then you can actually negotiate on the price a lot, assuming that you can handle the repairs. Now, the home repairs aren't really it's not for everyone. Dealing with the contractors, dealing with the estimates, living in a house with a house repair happening at the time. So you have to pick and choose what kind of repairs that you're willing to work with. And if you're okay with that. In my opinion, if I'm young, I don't have kids, and if I'm renting and paying like $2,000, $3,000, like not quite $3,000 in our market, let's say, I'm paying like $2,000 a month, and if I can buy at around like $3,000 a month mortgage payment, I may be very, very tempted, even the house that needs to be fixed. So the bad condition house that's sitting on the market, that's like the first one. The second one is the location. If the house is not selling because of the bad location, you're going to see a lot of them. Just go to Zillow or Redfin right now, and you're going to see the houses that are sitting on the market right next to a super busy road. I'm talking like 35 miles per hour or 45 miles per hour roads. If the house is sitting right next to it, there's a very high chance that it's not going to sell. And those are the good targets. I would again go and make a lower price offer that makes sense to you and negotiate it really hard. If you negotiate really hard, and hopefully even at 7%, it could make sense. So those two are my favorite when you have the home affordability and try to buy a home. The third one, I'm not a big fan of it, but it's a one, but I wouldn't go there. The third one is the ones that I would avoid are the properties that are not selling because of the high property taxes and high homeowners association fees, because they never go away, they never go down. So in my opinion, I would not consider those, especially the high-rise buildings, condominiums that are old, like 30, 40, 50 years old. I'm not a big fan of them, because HOA fees and the maintenance fees only is going to go up because of the age of the buildings. As you probably heard that the Champlain building in Florida that collapsed, that killed like almost 100 people 40 years ago. And that was due to the lack of maintenance. They had like water dripping issues, but they ignored that. They didn't maintain that, and the building ended up collapsing and killing people. That's a very extreme case, but maintenance cost has to go up when the building is old, and especially when it's high-rise buildings. So those I wouldn't touch. So going back to creative ways to buy homes, the first one is co-buying with your buddy, having roommate, and borrow more and live in a roommate situation. The next one is going after bad condition homes that you can fix it up, or bad location one. As long as you buy at the right price, that's the way to do it. Because it doesn't matter. If you buy it at a really low price, if you can sell it without losing money tomorrow, that's a good way to do it. So make sure to have the pricing that if you sold it in 6 months, that you're not going to lose money. So that means you need to know the pricing well, and you need to make an aggressive enough offer so you don't lose money. The third one is kind of like a third way of doing is going after brand new homes, completely opposite way. The brand new homes right now are offering like really low interest rates, less than 5.5%. One that I saw this morning was 4.99%, which is pretty good nowadays. Right now it's about 7%. So if you can save like 2% from the brand new home builders, that's huge. The only thing that I will be cautious is that just don't pay the price that they're asking for, because right now the home builders, they're trying to get rid of the end of the year inventory so that they can move on to the next phase of the building. So they need to sell. They're not making any money when they hold on to a property. So just make sure to negotiate hard and get all the upgrades and everything that you can get into it, and take advantage of the low rate buy down rate, which I see right now around like 5% in the Portland Metro. And some of the builders give out like $20,000 credit, depending on the price. I've seen as high as $40,000 credit for one of the builders, local builders, above $700,000 homes. So those are really good deals. Again, make sure to kind of negotiate on the price, the upgrades, and amenities, not amenities, the add-ons like blinds, appliances, that type of things. I made a video about buying a home, the things that you should know. I'll just touch on it, briefly. Make sure that the lot that you're going to buy isn't going to be next to a busy road in 3 years. Some of those homes have to be on a busy road in a decent sized subdivisions, because of the builders try to squeeze in as many homes into limited size of lot. Some homes will have to be next to busy high traffic roads, and those tend to lose value at the end. So you have to kind of look at the map. You have to look at where the playgrounds are. You have to look at which roads width are more than 2 lanes. If it's 4, you know that it's going to be a busy road at some point. And then the other thing is, when you look at brand new homes, make sure that, obvious ones are like layouts. Certain layouts flow well, certain layouts don't. The ones that I would avoid are the ones that don't have any windows on the south side or east side. I've seen some homes in the past in Wilsonville, Oregon. I mean, the only windows that get natural light is facing north. So, I mean, unless you have a food truck in front of your house that is reflecting the sunlight, you're not going to get any sunlight. Those are, in my opinion, bad homes. So think about that. And then let's see. So that's about it. So it's co-buying, buying homes that are sitting on the market, and brand new homes to utilize the special financings. So thanks for watching. If you have any questions, leave a comment or send me a call. Give me a call or send me a text, and I'll be happy to help. I'm in Portland, Oregon, by the way. Shawn the Realtor Guy here. Thanks for watching, and happy Thanksgiving, and have a great day.